Hey, good morning. It's Friday, October 16th. I'm a little trouble with my iPhone, so this may be the only video I'm doing today. But just stay tuned. We'll stay with it. Thanks for your patience. I'm going to continue looking at Proverbs chapter 8, specifically at verses 12 through 14. I'm going to read Bruce Waltke's translation. This is about wisdom. And as we said, wisdom is being personified as the lady wisdom, the woman wisdom, and she's speaking in concert as with God. This is God's wisdom speaking. And there's a personification here where these things she's talking about in this proverb that Solomon is describing, wisdom is claiming these things for herself as a woman to be valued as opposed to the woman folly who is to be run away from, but who also presents herself as an attractive person. So this is Bruce Waltke's translation. I, wisdom, dwell with shrewdness, and knowledge and discretion I find. The fear of the Lord is hating evil, pride and arrogance, and an evil way, and a perverse mouth I hate. Note the strong language that's here. Counsel and resourcefulness belong to me. I am insight. Heroic strength is mine. Again, this is the personification of wisdom spoken through the character of the woman of value, of virtue, the woman of wisdom. These words are life-changing for us because they give us a framework for understanding what God thinks of wisdom and how he wants us to view it and how he wants us to pursue wisdom. So wisdom dwells together with shrewdness. Now, typically, shrewd is not something we put together with something that's righteous. As a matter of fact, in the first 9 chapters of Proverbs, shrewdness is spoken of in its raw form positively. But in the rest of Proverbs, it's used in a negative way, the way we're more used to seeing it. But here, what it means is that it's the ability to devise and carry out wisdom and the implications of wisdom. Wisdom is not passive. If you're going to serve God, if you're going to be wise, it's aggressive. It's not just defensive, it's aggressive, it's offensive, it takes the lead. It puts God's wisdom forth. And it takes great courage to embrace wisdom. So she's saying, my wisdom, I dwell together. You can't separate wisdom from action. Wisdom is not something we put on a shelf like these books here. Wisdom is to be put into action. And shrewdness is the ability spoken of here, the ability to devise and plan and carry out those implications. Then she says, the fear of the Lord is hating evil. So wisdom has a disdain for evil. Pride and arrogance and an evil way of thinking, and a perverse mouth. She, the wisdom, woman of wisdom, she hates those things. Bruce Waltke states in his commentary, God does not respond to arrogance. Why? Because arrogance destroys relationships between God and people. It messes everything up. We can't have an order that is appropriate in terms of relationships. And it damages and perverts others. It's ugly and it's destructive. So the fear of the Lord is none of those things. And God hates those things. So wisdom will have a natural aversion to them. Just like David feared the Lord, Job feared the Lord and shunned evil. And then the last, verse 14, counsel and resourcefulness belong to me. It's positive, strong language. Counsel and resourcefulness belong to me. I am insight. Heroic strength is mine. This gives us the indication, again, courage, strength, even heroic strength is necessary to be a wise person. Wisdom is not somebody sitting on the porch or sitting on the shelf or sitting back and watching life happen. Wisdom is personifying the character of God and the power of this woman of wisdom. Now the strength of language is strong. The NIV translation says this for verse 14. counsel and sound judgment are mine. I have understanding and power. Okay, but notice this, compare that with counsel and resourcefulness belong to me. I am insight. Heroic strength is mine. Those are bold statements, but this is what wisdom is about. And the purpose of wisdom, one of the purposes of wisdom, is to give good counsel. So in commenting on this, Walkie says, for counsel to be worth its salt, one must have not only a strategy for success, but also the strength to carry it out and not to flinch in the face of opposition. Not just have a plan, but the strength to carry it out, and when you're opposed, not to turn and run. But Jesus, he was met with horrific opposition. All the things that Satan could throw at him in ways that we don't even know about, both subtle and upright, right in the face. But he never turned, he never flinched, because he showed what wisdom was all about. So this is this perception of wisdom. This is an aggressive thing. It runs away from arrogance. It runs away from the things that are hatred that God hates. And it takes great courage. A wise person is not someone who just sits at a stage rocking in a chair, not doing anything. I want to know what's happening today. No, a wise person is one who implements the truth of God and makes an impact, because God's word always has an impact. It never returns void. There's often an explosion that comes with the application of wisdom. Sometimes an explosion for good, sometimes really hard consequences. But if you want to be wise, it takes great courage. And as the passage says, heroic strength. And that's the thought for today. Not sure when I'll get back, but stay tuned, and we'll be back. Lord bless you, and may you have the courage to pursue wisdom. Have a great day. Bye-bye.